Hey, it's Dusty with the Martin Group at Platinum Living Realty, dropping in with your monthly market update for the city of Phoenix. Buckle up, let's go. All right, our active listings are up 163% over this time last year, with about 3,400, almost 3,450 listings here in Phoenix specifically, not counting the other cities in the metro area. But our sold listings are down over 50% over this time last year, currently sitting at about 910 sold homes for the month of November. Our median price per square foot is up 0%. It's totally flat from this time last year. Part of that's because we had this run up early in the year, and then we trailed off and dropped some because of the rise in interest rates so rapidly in the spring and in the summer. And so even though interest rates have dropped a little in the last few weeks, and we're finally back under 7%, and in some rare cases, you can get even 5% loans, that's great news. However, it's just even stable. Now, try not to freak out. Normal appreciation is like 2 to 4% nationally and 3 to 5% now here in the Valley because we've become such a destination, right? But you need to remember that real estate is supposed to be a long-term investment and a hedge against inflation long-term. So in a bad year, you're flat, and maybe you go down 1%, maybe 2% in a bad year. Now, try not to compare it with the Great Recession when home values dropped 50%. Part of that was because we were rubber stamping loans for people who couldn't prove their income, and we had 8 to 10 months of supply already, yet we were paying more and more and more for homes without taking into consideration like months of supply and stuff. Now we're in a different scenario, and we're not rubber stamping loans anymore, and we're not rubber stamping appraisals anymore either. And a whole lot of people can get in trouble. And if they did, and if the values shot up and then plummeted, and the feds found out that the banks had done that, they wouldn't be covered under the federal mortgage insurance. So you can no longer do that. It's no longer legal, and banks can no longer pretty much be compensated for nearly 70, 80% of the price of the home. It's just not going to happen, right? They can no longer offload homes for next to nothing. So there's not going to be downward pressure just to offload them and get them off their books. It's no longer legal. It's not a thing anymore, and it can't be a thing anymore. So the only true measure anymore is our true supply and demand, which will either drive things up or drive things down. But as far as we are here in Phoenix, the sky's not falling. We're okay. We're safe. This might be our correction. So, and then keep in mind, in most recessions, with the exception of one or two in the last 30, 40 years, most recessions, housing prices go up. So keep that in mind. So only two, I think, in the last 40, 50 years have had home prices come down. So if we're flat, we're actually pretty good. And remember, real estate is supposed to be a long-term investment. You are supposed to buy real estate and wait, not wait to buy real estate, because it's something that takes a long time normally to appreciate. Our months of supply is up 435% over this time last year. But we're still in a seller's market at 3.79 months of supply overall for the city of Phoenix. Our median price per square foot, even though like percentage-wise it wasn't up at all, it's actually up about 7 cents. So it's not truly a zero, but statistically it is, if that makes any sense. Median days on market is also up 98% over this time last year. Last year, we were closing homes in less time than it took to really close a loan. So now we're doing about 49 average days on market, or median days on market, median days on market. That's still not bad. If it were a truly even stable market, we would see median days on market somewhere in the 90-day range. And then we would be at about 6 months worth of supply. So we're not there yet for most price points. Right now, could you do me a favor? Hit the subscribe button, go get yourself a drink, pause it right here, because next we're going to break down the price points. All right. So when we look at our price points, we're going to start off with the $0 to $100,000 price range. If you're on a tight budget or if you're looking to invest, there's only 21 properties in all of Phoenix in that price range. 5 of them sold. That left us with 4.2 months of supply. It's not a seller's market, but it's nowhere near an even stable market either. 4 months or less is a seller's market. So at 4.2, it's like a seller's market plus a week, to put it in perspective. Then we drop down to the $100,000 to $200,000 price range, and you're at a 1.9 months of supply. That's a pretty red hot seller's market. It's not white hot. It's not the white hot that we saw last year with like 2 weeks worth of inventory. But it's also, like I said, not a buyer's market. And then our $200,000 to $300,000 price range, we're in a pretty strong seller's market at just over 2 months worth of inventory. Subtract the 30 days it takes to sell a home. In about a month, you should get those 10 showings. And of those 10 showings, you should have one solid offer between 97, 98% of list price. And when you are looking at those offers or those showings, if you haven't gotten those offers, then you know that you are 1% to 3% overpriced if you're not getting those 10 showings in a month. Now, for our $300,000 to $500,000 price range, we are just a hair inside seller's market territory at 3.83 months of supply. So only about a week or less worth of inventory less behind seller's market territory. So we're still there, but not quite. Should take about 4 months to sell your home, really, in theory. And like I said, you want to make sure that if you need to sell quickly, you're being very aggressive with it. Our $500,000 to $700,000 price range is at 4.1 months of supply. Now, that's a big swing from last year. However, keep in mind, this is not a price point that most people can afford, but it's not where even the majority of listings are. Majority of listings in Phoenix are between $300,000 and $500,000. So when you're at $500,000 to $700,000, you're just like not even quite a week outside of seller's market territory. It's going to be much slower traffic. You're not going to see lots of bidding wars and people giving things up. You're close to a seller's market, but you're not there. Then we look at the $700,000 to $1 million price point. We're at 5.31 months of supply. Again, closer to an even stable market. And then we drop down to our $1 to $3 million price range. We're at 6.3 months of supply. So very even, stable market. You should expect about 90 days on market. You want those 10 showings in a month. If you don't get them, then you need to reevaluate. If you're getting the showings but no offers, you're 1% to 3% over. If you're not getting the showings, you're 5% to 10% over or more. And that's a big deal. Your $3 million price point and over is officially a buyer's market at 8.67 months of supply. So you're a little over 2 weeks into buyer's market territory. And to be honest, like, it's more of a sliding scale than it is like definite. Like a 4-month inventory, yes, it's a seller's market, but it's going to be a slower, calmer seller's market than 2 weeks worth of inventory, you know? So a buyer's market at 8 months is going to be a little warmer and reasonable than like 36 months. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. You've got to really gear yourself to know where the market is, both in your neighborhood, in your zip code, and for the size home that you have, and in the price range that it is going to be listed at. If you have any questions what your home would sell for in today's market, or if you are looking to buy and want to know what you are up against, go ahead and give me a call at 480-717-9405 or visit my website at dustimartinrealtor.com.